Hey, and welcome back to The Art of a Life Well Lived. I'm Christine Regan Lake. It's good to be here again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you saw my last video, you know that I am in the midst of a health struggle, but I did wake up today and I had a lot of energy, so I thought I am going to just grab it and run with it. I'm feeling good, so let's make a video. Okay, so what do I want to talk about today? Today I want to talk about the 7 signs that you are dealing with a female narcissist. So before I go into the 7 signs, let me just say that there are kind of 3 different general baskets of kinds of personality types of narcissists, right? I'm not talking about like the covert, overt kind. What I'm talking about is more the cerebral narcissist, the sexual narcissist, or the somatic narcissist. So the cerebral narcissist is someone who gains all of their power and all of their self-worth from feeling as though they are in an elevated state of intellectual prowess, that they are smarter than everybody else, everyone else is beneath them, that they've got this depth of intellect and knowledge and power and things like that. So these are ones who will constantly cut people down for being not smart enough, whatever, things like that, that they're this person or that person isn't on their intellectual level. They're very, very judgmental of other people's intellect and things like that. Instead of meeting people where they're at, they have a constant need to put down other people who are inferior in their mind to them. The second one is a sexual narcissist. So a sexual narcissist is someone who, this is like the player type, right? So this is someone who will go through a stream of men, one after the other, just constantly looking for that affirmation that they, like a sexual conquest. And each person that is that sexual conquest proves to them and makes them feel that they are worthy, that their sexual allure is what makes them so important and so powerful. And so someone who is a sexual narcissist has a very, very challenging time with aging. They don't age well. So this might be somebody who, I don't know, what, I'm not even going to say her name. She's a celebrity. Recently saw a photo of her, and it just so much dramatic plastic surgery trying to capture her youth and dressing in clothes. And this is someone who's in their 60s and they're dressing like they're a 20-year-old, someone who cannot accept that they are aging. And so a sexual narcissist is someone who is going to have serious, serious challenges with aging. The third one is the somatic narcissist, which is what I want to cover today. So a somatic narcissist is someone who is, their entire self-worth comes from their physical appearance. So this is somebody who is completely obsessed with brand names, labels, things like that. They always have to be wearing the trendiest new outfits, things like that. They'll spend a fortune on their wardrobe. They will spend a fortune on personal care, getting manicures, pedicures, hair done, things like that. A fortune on all of that stuff. There's someone who's going to be at the gym, obsessive. They're going to be obsessively looking over their food and things like that. So all of their self-worth comes from their physical appearance. That is, it's someone who's going to be pretty shallow. There's not a lot of depth there. Unlike the cerebral narcissist, this is really not going to be somebody that you're going to have like deep intellectual conversations with. This is going to be surface level stuff, appearance, keeping up with the Joneses, make sure I've got the Mercedes, the Lexus, the BMW, whatever, because they're having the adoration of people they don't know is what feeds their ego, that they are, that their all of their worth comes from their image, right? They're completely obsessed with their image. Okay, so let's specifically dive into now the 7 signs of the somatic narcissist. So as I mentioned before, right? So they're gonna be obsessed with their body. So what they're gonna be obsessed with is the food that they eat, measuring things out, completely obsessed with the kind of, how many calories they're having, what they're, it's a complete absolute like control freak when it comes to their food, their weight, their fitness, and their appearance. They're going to spend a fortune on it. and it's going to be this kind of compulsive thing, and it's where they'll pull their main focus from, right? Is all about everything that's going to contribute to their overall package. The second one is that sometimes you will have a somatic narcissist who is also a sexual narcissist. So because they have that physical allure, because they are so obsessed with their body, they're at the gym, they have an incredible figure, it's about going out and the player, right? Just plowing through people, having, sexual encounters that will boost their ego and whatnot. So they use sex as a weapon to get what they want and need from other people. The third one is that because they're coming from that sense of superiority, like that they're so beautiful and whatever else, they will belittle you and take credit for, your accomplishments, things like that. So a narcissist can't have anybody else who they look at as a threat, right? Someone who, in their eyes, if you're looking good and things like that, somehow that's a threat to them. And it's really interesting. So I knew a friend of mine who was a physical therapist. She was a physical trainer, as was her husband. And, so they're both in amazing shape. They both look incredible. And yet, one day she's in the kitchen and she's just having a snack. And her husband comes in and he literally takes the food away from her and puts it back into the cabinet while she's eating. This is like this control thing, right? For whatever reason, he felt the need to go over, and it was basically like the implication was she was doing something wrong. It's like, well, if you do this, you might be getting fat, So, and she was like really taken aback and floored, because meanwhile she's got a beautiful shape. She works out, if she wants to eat something, she should be able to eat it. Nope. Came in, literally took her food away, put it back into the cabinets, and then walked out. So trying to belittle her, trying to shame her, right? Okay, so the fourth one is, and this is common to a lot of narcissists actually, is that they will ignore your needs and focus only on what's important to them. So you'll try to communicate what you want, need, or desire, and it will be completely ignored, and it will go by the wayside, and the only thing that seems to matter is what's important to them. Number 5, they can't handle constructive criticism. These individuals are hypersensitive to any kind of tweak, critique, things like that. So they'll become very irritated, annoyed, kind of get like petulant, if like someone points something out to them that they could be doing better or whatever. This is not someone who's open to constructive criticism. The sixth thing is that they'll gaslight you. Gaslighting is kind of like one of those normal standard fare narcissistic traits that kind of crosses the boards and is, something that many different kinds of narcissists will do. So the gaslighting is because they need to gaslight you because they need you to be filled with self-doubt. A narcissist does not want to be with somebody who is strong and self-confident in their own being because it threatens them. Because the core issue with a narcissist is they're very insecure. So all of these things, this false arrogance that they put on, whether it's a cerebral narcissist, a somatic narcissist, or a sexual narcissist, whether it's covert, overt, that arrogance comes from deep-seated insecurity that they are not enough. So when they gaslight you, it's because they want you incapacitated, because to them, having a partner who is filled with self-doubt makes them believe that person, they're more likely to never walk away because they're insecure. So the belittling, the constant criticisms, the gaslighting, it's all to make their partner weaker so they never leave. It's a manipulation tactic to keep someone attached to them. Okay, and the seventh one is they will use their superior fitness and their their perfect body to criticize others. So they are it's very common for them to body shame their partners. And I have to be honest with you, beyond just narcissists, body shaming is something that I have seen so many couples do, and it is heartbreaking to me because it is so destructive to somebody's self-worth to have their intimate partner. And I have a video on body shaming. If you want to check it out, you can just Google Christine Regan Lake in YouTube, do the YouTube search Christine Regan Lake body shaming, and the video will come up and it'll go into detail about why it's so detrimental to body shame your lover on a physical level, on a spiritual level, things like that. So body shaming is like, to me, that is like a below the belt thing. It's completely off the table. You never do that to somebody that you love. So let me just summarize what we've covered in this video. So I talked about the 3 kinds of narcissist, which is the cerebral narcissist, who gets all of their self-worth from their intellectual prowess, and they're putting themselves above everyone else, saying everybody else is beneath them and doesn't have the intellectual depth that they have. The second one is the sexual narcissist, this is the player who's going out and looking to bed as many people as possible to boost their self-worth and their self-esteem, to think that, like, I'm sexy, right? And then the somatic narcissist. The somatic narcissist is the one who's completely obsessed with their body. You will find that they, a lot of times they'll be kind of, for a female, maybe hanging out of their clothes. They want to walk in a room and have all the men turn and look at them in their skimpy little dress because it feeds their ego. What that does to your relationship, that's a whole nother question, but whatever. Okay, I'll do that in another video. Okay, so what are the signs again? What are the 7 signs? The first one is they obsess over their food, their weight, their fitness, and their overall appearance. They'll spend a fortune at the grocery store only buying like the best food products. They'll be obsessed with their weight on the scale every day, at the gym, hours sculpting their body at the gym, and they'll spend a ton of money on clothes, high-end brands, things like that. Everything is about sculpting that perfect outward appearance. Their image is the most important thing. There's not a lot of depth there. You're not going to get a lot of spiritual or intellectual depth, but you're going to get like a beautiful outside, shape of a car, that kind of thing. It's just a sculpted, beautiful physical model. So 2, they use sex to bolster their self-esteem. They can be a player, they can go through people, and it's all about just going to the bar, getting a lot of attention, having all eyes on them, and then being that player that every person that they draw attention from or whatever feeds their ego. The third thing is that they will belittle you and take credit for your accomplishments, meaning that they're not going to ever let you bask in your moment, because they are incredibly jealous and envious people. They look at everybody as a threat. If someone else is getting attention and focus, it means that attention and focus is not on them, and that's a problem. So they'll look at their partners as a competitor. The fourth thing is that they will ignore your wants, needs, and desires and focus only on what matters to them. Because clearly the universe revolves around them. And so, why do your wants, needs, and desires matter? They don't. They can't handle constructive criticism. They're hyper defensive. So if you ever try to say anything to a somatic narcissist, they will come back at you, get irritated. They'll, kind of do that, like, what is it? The little scratchy cat, kind of like, whatever. They can't, they don't have the self-confidence to be able to handle constructive criticism. The sixth thing is that they will gaslight you. They will do things to make you question your sanity, question your self-worth, question your intelligence, things like that. And the 7th thing is that they could potentially body shame you, because what they do is they use their physical body as a way to feel superior. So they will look down on other people. They will make negative comments, body shame, and things like that to put you in your place and to make you feel negative, to make you feel less than what you are. Because an insecure person is the best thing that a narcissist could have, that they want to have as their intimate partner, because if that person is insecure, they won't leave them. So those are the 7 signs of a somatic narcissist. I hope you found value. I have a whole series of videos on narcissism if you want to go to the playlist for narcissism, and you can check out all those videos. If you have any specific topics you'd like for me to cover on narcissism or relationships in general or healing after narcissistic abuse, I would love to hear it in the comments. Just put it out there, and I will definitely do my research and make sure that I can answer your questions to the best of my ability. If you enjoy my videos, I would love it if you could like or share or subscribe to my channel, because that helps tweak the algorithm to get my message out to more people that who want and need to hear what I'm having to share. Hope you have a beautiful day, and thanks so much for coming to see me today. Take care. Bye-bye.